Products, if there's a list of products that are defined for this customer with special pricing and such, or special product codes, they would be listed here. They can be set up here. You'll see more about that maybe in the product information. Order history shows order history more for manufacturing, but it would show the history of sales orders created for this customer. In manufacturing, those are designed really to be one sales order is for one product with multiple releases, as opposed to the field service implementation, which utilizes one invoice will have multiple items and multiple quantities and multiple cabinets, fixtures, or equipment. Handhelds, this shows me the list of all the handhelds that this customer has, is loaded onto. So I can see it's set for the Sprint Trio. If I wanted to remove it from there, I could just set this inactive and save it, and the next time the handheld syncs, it will remove this customer's name and information from the handheld. Documents. We can store links to customer documents. So whether it be Excel spreadsheets or Word documents or PDFs or anything, we can set the links down here. Now I put the note down here. As you see, that note is what it says here. This here you usually want to put on a shared server, so that if I'm going into it and guy across the office needs to go into it, they're not trying to get to it on my C drive, because when he tries to get into it, he's going to look at it, it's going to say C drive, it's going to look at his machine. So you want to put this out onto a shared server. I just hit this ... button, and it's a browse button to help me go find where that file is. If I double click on the file, it will just open up the file and show me that information. I can also, if I go to add, and this is true with anywhere, whatever tab you're on, remember when you click add, it's going to add another. I've made a couple little adjustments up here when I was working on it, so I changed those to 2000 and 2005, so that's what I want to save before I added this new thing. I told it yes. If you have a scanner set up to your computer, you can use this scan button, scan in your image, and then link that scanned PDF document or picture, and it will actually display it here, giving the link down here. Type in whatever note you want to display down here, and it gives you a small picture here. When you double click, it'll open it up into your picture viewer or PDF viewer or whatever type of file it is. Some of them that we got built in here for looking at quickly are JPEG, GIF, and bitmap, documents and text, Excel documents and CSV, common limited files, PDFs, and then all. You can link it to a music file or anything else that might be important to link to. No, I do not wish to save my changes. I didn't put anything in there. And so that's how that works. Equipment, you can see that the equipment that we had listed here is listed here. It's just another view of it as a quick reference. And if you've done work on it, you can click that little plus and it would show the history of it all right here without having to drill down under service address to get to that. And you can see here quickly that whether it's under part of the sales, under a sales agreement, what the install and parts and labor warranties are. Recurring events we'll cover in another section, but this loads up information for scheduling and routing, where it will automatically preload your to-do list with a bunch of information, and recurring events, meaning you can make it happen every week, every month, every day, every 6 months, once a year, whatever. And it'll either load it to the office to do, or it can be loaded to a specific handheld and assign it to their route automatically. Freeform is very similar to documents, but it and as you see, as I move over the fields, some of them have long notes. You can actually preview it. Just by doing that without having to even open it. But the difference between documents and freeform are documents are information that will be able to send to the handhelds. Those pictures and images and documents, we can configure and send those out to handhelds, or more likely netbooks or laptops. Whereas the freeforms are really more for office purpose only, where you've got notes and things up here. Down here at the bottom, you can add attachments, but the attachment is the less important part here, and it's really more of the notes, and those notes are really more focused for the office, whereas the documents, as you see, it's kind of reversed. The notes are the smaller thing, the picture is bigger here, and this information is shared with the handhelds. Appointments, this is where it just shows the list of upcoming and previous appointments for this customer, when they were and who was assigned to them and what they were about, whether it was a specific date and time, that's this column, or whether it was approximate date and time that it was assigned over here, and that's part of the scheduling. A specific date and time is a specific appointment scheduled, whereas a approximate date time is more of your routing. You don't need a specific time. You're just going to say we're going out there around the 5th, and we can just walk in, and it's a business, so we can walk in anytime 9 to 5, that type of thing. Or it's something that we can get to, that we do service that we perform that's an outside the building, that we can perform outside the building, whether a customer is there or not. We don't have to schedule an appointment, so it would be this approximate date for your routing. Invoices shows the history of invoices for this customer, how much they were, how much the subtotal, grand total, how much the total invoice was, the date it was signed, who it was sent to, your notes. You can click here and see the details within the invoice, or you can just double click it and actually open the invoice and do print previews and such there. This will show all invoices that were signed and unsigned for this customer. So if you've got some quotes out there that there's not a signed invoice, it's something you've gone out and done an estimate or a quote on, it would store it here. You could take a look at that and talk to the customer about it, even preview and do some different things here. And then it's still available for from the point it was created. The handheld, on the handheld has about a week and a half to go back and turn a quote into an invoice. And so any unsigned and uncompleted invoices would be listed here. Even if it was from 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago, they're all still stored here to just keep the history here. And as they get a certain age, the handheld is set to only hold so many, and so eventually you may have to look at the inactive list to see them, but they all can be found here. And that is the basics of most of the customer fields here. The other thing I wanted to show you would be under Tools, and that is Schedule Appointments. I'm just going to tell you it's here, and then look under the Schedule Appointment information to find out. You'll learn how this works to schedule an appointment for this customer and have it help you pick out times and dates that are best